Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So Ethereum has so far failed to break through this resistance area between 12.15 and 12.25. This is actually quite an important area. It is a key resistance area on the chart here. As you can see here, it was tested numerous times here, 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 and just now as well, right? And here as well. So we've had various tests. The whole thing is looking like an inverse head and shoulders. But to make it play out, it would really need to break through now. So you can see it here. You've got your head, you've got your shoulders, and to make it play out, so it would need to break through, and the target for it would be around $1,400. So, however, it's a very obvious one, yeah. And when these patterns are too obvious, sometimes they don't work out. What concerns me a little bit is here the latest price development, or the development in the chart, which starts to look a little bit like an ascending wedge, like this, which rather suggests that we're going to see a breakdown from here, because this is considered a, well, you could call it a bearish pattern. From an Elliott Wave point of view, you could argue that this is some kind of a diagonal pattern, and that in fact we have never seen this blue wave 2 here, that this might be here, yeah, and that the wave 1 will be completed at the end of the diagonal, so that the diagonal itself is actually a wave 1. So let me explain that. Move that across. So I'll explain that. Basically, we've got here the yellow count, so you can see that wave 1 in yellow, the wave 2 in yellow, that from the low, from the 22nd of November, which was here at $1,075, we created a wave 1. We came down in a wave 2. And we then started, basically started the wave 3. In this wave 3, we've got a 1, 2. And the fact that we're creating something like a diagonal makes me think maybe the whole thing is the wave 1. There will be a wave 2. That would make sense from an, if you look at it as an ascending wedge, that would make sense, because normally they do break to the downside. It's not necessarily bearish, but it would lead to the pattern being broken in a wave 2. It would need to find support, obviously, above 1180 or 1170. And from here, it could then move up in a wave 3. That is what I can imagine could happen. But ultimately, there are various possibilities, especially on the short term. If this is supposed to work out as an inverse head and shoulders, it should break soon. Otherwise, it's probably not going to work out. Then it gets very much dragged along, gets a very ugly pattern, and so on. But yeah, there is short-term upside still possible here. What are the important levels? So there are certain levels that the price should not drop below, and we can talk about them. So the absolute key level that the price should not drop below is $1,100 US. If that happens, I think we're going to see a new low. This is sort of the very relevant key level. In the short term, it should not drop below 1170. Yeah, the 78.6% fib level. If it goes below that, then we have a big risk at falling back to 1100. If we then lose the 1100 level, then I think we can retest the $1,000. And this is the next decision point, the next key point for Ethereum. Why is that the case? Because as long as we hold above $1,000 US, we can still see, and this is the 4-hour chart showing the chart since June, we can still see the whole thing as a possible larger 1-2 setup, which is, according to Elliott Wave, one of the best trade setups, yeah, because you can get a very low risk entry with a possibly high reward. If it doesn't work out, then it's not a big deal, because you are very close to the invalidation point anyway. So the wave 3 could take us to $3,000. And if it breaks, obviously the stop loss will get triggered and you can reset for lower. But the point is, if we really break the $1,000 level substantially, we are probably going to test the 650 level. And that means we're making a new low below the June low, okay? So at the moment, my view is that there is a good chance that we have short-term upside potential. That's in fact my primary, yeah. especially in the short term, that we have short-term upside potential according to this, because the move down was only in 3 waves. Yeah, I need to do 1 second. Yeah, it would be like that. We make it like that now. So the move down was only in 3 waves. A, B, C. Yeah. And the reason why I'm thinking that we haven't seen necessarily the low yet is because this move down doesn't look finished. It looks unfinished. I mean, it's possible that we have completely bottomed out for Ethereum, but I think we're going to see one more test of at least the $1,000 level, maybe even lower. But important is that short term, I'm looking at upside potential here. As long as we are holding above $1,100, if we drop below that, we are going to retest 1,000, and below that level, we are going to retest, or we are going to test the 650 level. Okay. But yeah, it's important to break through that key level of 1225. Next resistance will be this area between 1270 and 1290. That is not the target. It is just a resistance area. Yeah. And from here, it can then move on to around $1,400, maybe a bit higher. And then the retracement from here will be the next decision point. Here we will then get a very clear understanding if it indeed is just a wave 4, because from here we would then break down, or if this is indeed already, and that's possible as well, a bullish breakout pattern, and we've already seen the low and we're going up from here. But we won't know that until we have finished this pattern and see the retracement. Okay, I'll keep you updated about that. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.